Hey, I'm Soman.
And I'm June.
And welcome to the first EverNever TV of 2023.
Wait, I'm sorry. I thought you said 2023.
Oh, no. Hey, I'm Soman.
And I'm June.
And welcome to our first episode of 2023.
Woo!
We are dressed as twins. This is completely June's fault. He walks in wearing... And I'm too lazy to change, so I don't know why it's his fault, but it just feels like his fault. So we have two things to talk about, some unexpected fun little twists in the School for Good and Evil fandom. First is that you guys came through on basically voting us to the top of the Goodreads choice competition. As a result, I wrote a Tagatha fanfiction that I promised I would write you guys, an original short story called The Princess Club, which is now published on
AO3, fanfic.net, and Wattpad.
So it's on all three. A bunch of you discovered it before I announced it. And I wanted to write a story that was a little more adult because fan fiction tends to be quite scandalous and crazy, and I wanted something a little intense and different. And I sort of set up some rules for myself, and the rules I gave myself were I wouldn't do any plotting after book 6 because in case I want to do additions to the series later. Number 2 was I wanted Agatha and Tedros in a very kind of intense dialogue with each other, but I didn't want them to be able to talk to each other. I wanted a Tagatha story with almost no dialogue. And I used the model of O. Henry, The Gift of the Magi, and a couple other stories that have this model that I love. And it was a big part of my construction of the idea for it. And then the third thing is I wanted more than half the story to be in a state of altered consciousness so that it felt almost surreal. And that when you read it, you would have this thing of, oh, did someone write it or not? Or is this somebody else? So those were my 3 challenges. And then I went to work and I wrote it in about a week. The Princess Club was the result. I love the story. It's very personal. I had the best time writing it. And from what I can tell, all of you love it too. It's been nothing but positivity. If you haven't read it, June, how do they find it?
Go to the links below. We will have it on Wattpad, AO3, and fanfic.net. So whichever fanfic site is the one you show allegiance to, you can support the story there.
And I'm so curious whether you guys will make any fan art for it. And if you do, I'll definitely post it. But speaking of fan art, June has a big announcement of something else exciting.
So, do you want to read Fall of the School for Good and Evil?
And you definitely want to because it's the most scandalous, intense, ridiculous book I've ever written. It's so insane. You're going to throw the book against the wall, but out of intense passion and surprise and horror, and then you're going to run and pick it back up and you're going to be like, oh my God. And then you're going to send me DMs with that brain busting emoji and be like, I want to die. And I'll be like, I want to die with you.
So for all of that to happen, you first need an advanced copy of Fall of the School for Good and Evil. And we are giving out 5 copies to 5 lucky winners of a fan art contest. And the theme of this fan art contest are scenes from Rise of the School for Good and Evil, the book before Fall. So all you have to do is pick a scene from Rise of the School for Good and Evil, make your best fan art, and post it on Instagram with the hashtag Rise of SGE, Fall of SGE, and School for Good and Evil. Please keep in mind that we are only sending these advanced copies to people with a valid US mailing address. We will be contacting our 5 winners via direct message on Instagram.
Make sure that you do a scene in the book that makes it clear that you've read it, because that will be probably the primary criteria of how we choose. A scene sort of elegantly rendered from the novel. So if you haven't read Rise of School for Good and Evil, now is your chance. So we have a secret fan fiction, now we have a sequel giveaway and a fan art contest, lots of stuff going on, and I am moving, which is why the apartment looks so bare.
Where are you moving?
Well, I found my own Tedros/Hort because he's somewhere in between the two.
Whoa.
And now I am moving far away to essentially live on a goat farm. And I'm super excited. It's a new chapter in my life, just as School for Good and Evil comes to an end. I'm working on completely new stuff. It seemed like a good time to shake up my life a little. So I'm excited. You're going to have a lot of goat content. If you have a goat phobia, you'll have to start following Chris Colfer instead. June's going to be here in New York, and he's going to be coming out to St. Louis, and I'm going to be back to New York all the time. So you'll see plenty of us, just in a slightly different setting.
And next time we won't be wearing the same clothes.
You never know. With us too, you never know. All right, see you guys soon.
Bye guys.